The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Good afternoon, South Shore. This is Arthur Boyle filling in for Paul Solano. Paul Solano is going to be grandfather Paul in the next few months, and they have the big shindig today, and it'll be exciting. Tim, that's exciting news, don't you think?
Yes, very exciting. Yeah.
Well, we're going to...
very happy for him.
We're going to send our best wishes out to Paul and his family, and it's having been through 6 grandchildren now at this point, I know how much fun they are, and it's fun. Let's just put it that way.
Spoil them rotten, right?
Yeah. That's you're you want to do all the things for them that you wouldn't do with your own children,
right? Exactly. Yep. That's right. Yeah. Save the good stuff for the grandkids.
Yeah. We have some other good news in the Solano Boyle family of broadcasters, and that was an interview my brother did this past week with Christine James. And the issue was a very touching situation. My brother, who lost his wife several months ago, has been selected to give the commencement speech at the graduation of the students at Springfield College. So it's a thrill for us, and a thrill for my brother, and a great honor, and we're happy to have him on the road to. We're looking forward to Shelley Wolf giving us a call. She's the Paul Ponders Executive Committee, and she is giving some information on techie tools and the techie toolbox and so forth. So we're looking forward to talking to Shelley in a little bit. I want to talk about the Celtics before I get too far into this, because I just I think we got outcoached, we got outplayed, no question about it. But they lost the first 2 games in Boston Garden at home, and it just shouldn't be. We look forward to the Celtics off season and see if they make any bold moves. And in that, I don't mean the 7'3" center who will certainly be gone if he's got big money attached to his contract. And we'll see what they do if Joe Mazzulla's job is in jeopardy. I think that could be a possibility. And Tim, do we have...
Yes, we do. Yep, Shelley's on the line.
Shelley is on the line. Shelley, it's good to talk to you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Arthur?
I'm doing well. I'm cheering for Paul. He's he got a big day today.
He does have a big day today.
Yeah, he's going to make a great grandfather. He'll be the one that spoils the kid rotten.
I know. I would be happy to be one of his grandchildren.
Yeah, well, as somebody who has 6 of them, you can't do enough for them, and you want to do things for them, and give them all the things that you couldn't give your own kids because you didn't have the money or the time or the energy. Or it's fun, and we'll get back to the toolbox. However, We want to talk about what's hot in Techie Town today.
Well, I thought I would take this opportunity to take some tech tips. I know you mentioned you had 6 grandchildren yourself, so are those mostly boys or girls?
They are 3 and 3.
3 and 3. All right. Well, there you go. That's a good blend. Yeah, I know on my side of the family, my siblings, most of them had boys, and then like all my cousins were girls. Like it was always very interesting to watch that dynamic of how that works out. So my grandmother got lucky having multiples, a set of boys and some sets of girls. So that was good. So, but I thought from Techie Tips, we thought we would take this opportunity, and I kind of focus our tech tips around grandparents today.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about, using phones, tablets, computers, just to stay connected, entertained, and be safe online. Again, we know Paul's going to be a grandparent, so congratulations to him, and to his daughter and daughter-in-law. So let's start by, as being a grandparent, it's not what it used to be, right? Now we have all these tools, we can stay connected from far away, which is really amazing. I wish I would have had that with my grandma besides the phone before she passed. But we have video calls and texting, photo sharing, and even online games that we can now play with our kids and use this new technology to open doors. But let's be honest, sometimes it can also feel very overwhelming, right? Like technology, there's just so much happening. So I wanted to kind of break it down and give us some practical tips that we can use, but also help us stay connected while being confident and staying safe. And then, heck, maybe we'll teach these kids some things or two, right? So let's talk about video calls made simple. There are some apps out there. There's FaceTime through Apple. There's the WhatsApp, which is really great. I use the WhatsApp, especially when I'm out of the country, because there's no charge for it either. And I don't have to be logged in, and it's a little bit more secure. So the WhatsApp, that you can use it in the country or out of the country. It works on any platform. You could use Zoom or you could use Google Meet. Again, you don't need any fancy equipment. You could use your phone. You could use a computer, a tablet. If you have a smartphone, you can, again, it's having those video calls with the grandkids or even your kids. It gives a chance to set up a time weekly to stay virtually connected and have those virtual visits. You can prop up your phone using the simple stand, or even just a coffee mug, or whatever might be sitting around the house. Open a hardcover book and kind of stand it up and prop it up against. Texting and voice messages, right? Like a lot of times we get tired of texting. I know, like my thumbs hurt all the time, and last year we talked about I had shattered my elbow, so I used the opportunity to learn voice to text, which was fantastic. So it doesn't always get the right spellings, but if you're not able to text, you can also use the microphone icon that's on the keyboard and speak into your message. On iPhones, you can also send a short voice memo just through the Messages app. Again, real easy to do and stay connected. Photo sharing. I know, like, my nephew loves to share photos with me a lot of times. So you could use Google Photos or just the Messenger app or even Apple Photos. Family members can set up shared albums. It means you can automatically get new photos for grandkids without having to ask them. So I know we just had Mother's Day. We also got Father's Day coming up out there. What a great opportunity to go buy a digital frame for the family and for your grandparents, and you can send photos quickly from your phone, so they're constantly seeing new photos of what the grandkids are doing. Just keeps you really connected. Staying entertained and informed, reading audiobooks. There's apps like the Kindle, Libby, which has free library books, or even Audible. That way no one's having to carry any heavy books, but you can read and listen to the stories together right from your phone or tablet. You could even watch videos through your computer, like sharing some of these videos through like a Google Meet or a Zoom. You could do that. Again, I know that I do that a lot of times. It's a lot of fun. And then trying different games. Words with Friends, Sudoku, Solitaire, Luminosity. Scrabble's also a fun one. You can play solo, or you can compete with different family members across miles. A lot of fun, and there are a lot of ways to engage the kids. YouTube on how-to videos, want to learn how to crochet or a new pattern, cook a dish, or even fix something around the house, there's a video for everything on YouTube. So a great conversation piece to have with grandkids and see what they're watching and listening to.
Well,
but then the other part is about staying safe. You were going to say something, Arthur?
Yes, I was going to say I'm from the grandfather area or period in time where you had to only dial 5 numbers on the telephone to make a connection. And now with your grandparents today, you can send pictures, you can play games, you can do just about anything. And it's amazing to me that we've come such a long way with such a short period of time. And,
right?
You know, you must run into it all the time, where it's, a day that doesn't go by that you don't see somebody who says, that's AOL, that's passé, that's.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, technology just moves so quickly. I mean, again, that's why I always say, like, there's so many positives and around it, but there's also, like, negatives, right? So we've got to remember to stay safe. We got to recognize scams and fake messages. So it's really important, like, if you get a message that you've won money or that your account's in trouble, do not double click. Stop and think before you're clicking on those. Or, hey, you need to click on this. I know, like, when I'm playing solitaire a lot of times, like, something will pop up and say, hey, like, you need to update. And it's like, nope, it's scam. Like, those are scam things. You just want to be careful. And a lot of times, people prey on the fact that people are grandparents, right? Like, they're like, oh, your grandchild's, like, in this foreign country and they lost their luggage and they need your help. And it's being very, very careful to make sure not to respond to any of those. I know in some of the other tech tips we've also talked about, keeping strong passwords and writing them down, making a mix of letters and numbers for passwords, and keeping them written in a safe space so that, like, that what they are, putting them in a password manager versus, making sure that they're simple things. So we don't want to be using birth dates or grandkids' birth dates or things like that, because if people know you and they figure that out, they can take advantage of that. So, again, it's about staying connected, avoiding those clicking those strange links. So if something looks off, don't click it. Be very, it's better to stay safe than sorry. Trust the person, and if it's legitimate, you'll know. And again, practicing what I like to call media literacy. So it's a great opportunity to connect with the grandkids, right? Ask questions together. If your grandkids show you a video or what they call these days, these memes, like the funny little video or picture with a saying, like, ask who made it. Is it true? What is the message? You're not spoiling the fun. You're just encouraging them to really think about, like, what they're intaking, because, again, they're surrounded by messages so much. I watch families give kids phones, like at 3 months old, 4 months old, just so that they can start their brain. And then, it's just we want to be safe and make sure that kids understand what they're watching. So thinking about misinformation, teach them to check for sources and use fact-checking when they're older, like talk about sites where, like, Snoops.com or factchecking.org can make a game of spot the fake. So just like we used to be in the cars, and before we had cell phones, there were digital devices to watch in the car, right? We used to, look for those license plates and be like, okay, spot your ABCs as you're driving, or spot how many different license plates from different states we can find. So we use the spot checking type game with them. And be a role model. Share what you read with them or learn online, and let your grandkids ask you questions, and then you ask them questions. So it's a great opportunity for sharing. So, again, quick tips for grandparents is make video calls using FaceTime or WhatsApp. Use a voice-to-text or voice messaging. Access free books online and read with your grandkids. Play some brain games. Watch some tutorials together on YouTube. Never share your personal information or emails on text. Write down your passwords and practice media literacy with your kids. Pick one of these topics today and use that for a week, whether it's sending your first voicemail to them, asking your grandkids a question, or tech that doesn't have to be scary. It's a new tool, but it's a great way to stay connected. And you just do say, like, you used to dial 5 numbers and we could get to someone. Now it's pretty much selecting one button. We don't even have to memorize those phone numbers. So, again, it's just being safe, but enjoying that time with your grandkids and embracing technology is a fun way to be able to connect. So, again, I want to encourage that, grandparents stay curious and connected through these fun tech tips that we provided today.
Are the services provided that, you may have a link to or something to hook up a grandparent or grandparental age person? Are there places they can go that are, either for short money or for no money, that they can learn how to use the functions of their phone? Because there's many of us that have, very elaborate phones, and they simply are good for, going, to take a class or to do something.
Yeah.
We have something in common as well with your grandchild.
Yeah. So a lot of times community resource centers, like your community centers, have those. But if you're looking for something online and different ways to stay connected, there are places like you can obviously use the company, the cell phone. Like, so if you're an Apple person, you can go to Apple, and Apple actually has some Apple to Kids programming. Let's see. I'll tell you what it's actually called in 1 second.
Okay.
Let's see. Apple Kids Workshop is, what do they got? Today at Apple, they have an Apple Camp. And it's, again, talking about some different programming that you can sign up with for your kids. You got Discovering, and it's like different programs you can play. You can teach calendars, and they have different classes for all different ages where kids can make a song and everything.
That's great. It's a great sharing tool as well. But can we ask you to hold on for a minute and come back with us after the break? We've got some bills to pay.
Yeah.
So
you got it.
We'll pay the bills, and we'll come back to you in just about 4 minutes.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks.
South Street Diner, located at 178 Nealon Street, Boston, is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week for late-night eats. Yep, that's 24/7 in my book. Owner Saul Seidel has grown this former iconic Blue Diner to be the place to go for keeping the party going or filling your stomachs before you head home to the South Shore or the Cape and the Islands and listen to WATD along the way home. Ask Saul about his grandmother's banana bread recipe, the Boston cream pancakes, umpteen eggs Benny offerings, and tell him that Paul Ponders sent you. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Benekeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision. Happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it. Know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools, 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
And it's actually Arthur Boyle for the weekend, filling in for Paul Solano. Paul at Paul Ponders website, and he's becoming a grandfather, and he's practicing this weekend. So we'll wish him well, and we know that things will go well. He's a good guy. Tim, we have Shelley still?
Yep, she's on the
All right.
line. Yep.
Okay. All right. We were talking about the generational division, I guess it is. It's something that we can't cure in a day, but it would be nice to have a class to take or a seminar to take, and do something so you show your interest to the child, and you get a little education on the side.
Yeah. So, some other great places I was mentioning, like your local community centers. I know local libraries do stuff. So if you're looking for stuff online, there's the Senior Planet, which is by AARP. I love AARP. I think they're fantastic. And they've got a website called seniorplanet.org. And they offer free tech classes specifically for older adults. They offer phone tutorials, Zoom basics, social media, online safety, some friendly and supportive community spaces so that you can go in there and learn all kinds of fun things. There's also something that's called Tech Boomers. Again, free, easy tutorials on how to use smartphones, apps like YouTube or Facebook, staying safe online, great for all learning levels. Actually another company that's gotten into this is Goodwill, which is GCS Global. They have a whole education aspect, and I'll share these so that they go on Paul's blog as well. But these are great for learning how to use your Android and iPhones by step, because again, this tool that's in our hands is just so complex. There's so many things on there, and half of the things we don't even use, right? So, and I know as a tech person, half the things on my phone are just, I remove them because there's just no need for them. But great, again, it's great for learning your Android or iPhones, offers videos and lessons on internet safety, texting, different apps. There's also another fun website called Cyber Seniors Program, which offers one-to-one or they do Zoom help for young mentors, often for students. But safety tips also in digital literacy. And another one that I love, I use a lot of times with students even, but it's great for parents and grandparents, is a place called Common Sense Media. It reviews different apps. It shows games and websites for safety and age appropriateness. And it gives great tips for managing screen time, staying safe with kids. I talk with a lot of folks of all different ages, and just, again, really thinking about being cognizant about when we're handing a child a phone, having conversation with them, not just putting the phone in their hand to be that distraction. I think, we've gone from the ages of here's a book and go play in your room or go play outside to, now we're just going to put you in front of the TV, to now we're just putting you in front of this device because it's in our hands. And it's amazing that when you see a 2 or 3-year-old really know how to navigate media. And again, there's pros and cons to it, right? I have a very good friend who's got a young son, and he's learned how to put connect shapes very quickly online, and he's a very smart student, right? But again, then there becomes this disconnect by the time they get to schools of understanding hey, now we're going to read a black and white book, right? There's it's also, we got to engage our minds and make sure that there's still color involved and action involved. And I get a lot of questions from parents and grandparents are why do websites change all the time? And why do applications change? And we got to update our applications all the time. And a lot of times what's happened is because technology is moving so quickly, we have younger generations that are staying current. And for them, because we haven't maintained that quickness of movement and stuff that's happening, and newness. That's what people are looking for, right? So, like, as we know, like, you know, everybody wants everything at their door right now, right? It used to be back in the day, you would have to wait a week to get your gallon of milk, right? You got your gallon of milk, and that lasted you all week, and or at least a couple days. And now it's like, no, I need everything right now. And so we're in this instantaneous society, which again has its pros and cons. So we just need to be careful with around the technology. But a lot of that technology changes so quickly because they are catering to these younger generations whose minds and eyes are moving much more quicker than maybe we are. So.
Well, on that note, we'll pick up next week, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Commissioner Greg Hanley, who is himself a guy that's a high technology.
But before we go, Arthur, Shelley, how do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more?
Oh, that's
yeah, if
right.
they want to, no worries. Yeah, if they want to learn more, they can reach us at info@podproentertainment.com. And again, always happy we teach classes as well. So if you're interested in learning more, happy to, reach out. We can offer some classes to you and your family. Those are some offerings that we do offer through Toolbox Entertainment as well. So, but it's been great being on the show, and I just want to thank you for your time. And I hope everybody learned something, and I'm wishing all the grandparents a wonderful day today.
Well, I learned something, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great.
Shelley Wolf, our techie tech box.
From PodPro Entertainment, our techie toolbox segment.
You bailed me out.
Yes. No problem, Arthur. So you want to talk to Greg Hanley now?
We want to talk to Greg Hanley.
All right. Mr. Hanley is on the line.
Hello, Greg. How are you?
Very well, Arthur. How are you today?
Good, thanks. You've got an event coming up in just less than a week now. It's only a couple of days away.
Yeah, on Wednesday, the 21st, we have a delegation from Donegal, Ireland, coming into town to begin the Transatlantic Climate Alliance Conference. So we have a welcome dinner planned over in the Shire town of Brockton, the City of Champions, at Thorny Lea Country Club. We have the mayor of Donegal and two people from their economic ministry coming over to participate as a panel in that conference. The mayor of Brockton, Robert Sullivan, is having a welcoming dinner at Thorny Lea, and we will be presenting awards from the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts to Gary Martin, who's the economic minister. Old Colony Planning Council will be presenting an award to Anne Marie Conlon. She is the Director of Economic Development. And we will be presenting from the Ancient Order of Hibernians the Irish Man of the Year, which will be Clerk of Courts in the Superior Court, Robert Creedon. And we will be celebrating the Irish Woman of the Year in Ambassador Claire Cronin. She was the U.S. Ambassador to Ireland. And that'll be the beginning of a wonderful night. We have the band Devry from Donegal playing, and we have the dancers of the Dunleavy Boyle School of Irish Step playing. We have 180 people that'll be there, and it looks to be a great night, and that's on Wednesday the 21st. On Thursday the 22nd, we'll go down to Bridgewater State University, where we'll begin the conference at 9 a.m. The public is invited to come. It's free of charge. It includes breakfast and lunch, and we will be talking about Senator Mark Pacheco's group, the Climate Alliance Council. Will be presenting all sorts of technological advances in the green space, green economy, specifically clean tech, where software will be introduced and discussed that will improve businesses around the globe, as well as anaerobic digestion. The county is looking at the possibility of building anaerobic digesters in each county to help sustain the food waste industry as far as trash. DEP is going to require cities and towns at some point within the next 5 years of completely removing food waste from the trash stream, and the counties are considering the option of a public digester that can serve our member communities as well as raise revenue for our member communities. And we will have representation from the Department of Energy Resources on all the monies that are available to cities and towns through the administration, as well as a presentation by Senator Quentin Palfrey, and he will talk about best practices on projects around the Commonwealth where the successes have been. That'll end our conference. We'll go down to the city of Brockton after that, around 3 o'clock, for a flag-raising ceremony, and then a trip down to the Rocky Marciano family home with pictures in front of the big Rocky Marciano statue at Campanelli Stadium. And then finally, our friends from the Brockton Rocks had their opening game last night. They're hosting Celtic night on the night of the 22nd, and the mayor of Donegal, Neve Kennedy, will be throwing in the first pitch. And we're sponsored by Harbor One on that night, and it looks to be a busy 3 days, and it's a good thing that the trip back to Ireland is a 5-hour flight, because I think this delegation will have earned their stripes for a long rest on the way home.
Well, that sounds like a full day.
Well, it is going to be a full day, full 3 days, actually. So they come in on Wednesday night, and they leave Friday morning.
And they jam all that into 2.5 days.
Yeah, this Sister County program that we've had, we've agreed to 4 conferences. So far, Plymouth hosted one 2 years ago. Ireland hosted theirs last year. This is our second conference, and then we'll have one other conference in the fall over in Ireland. So it's been a great partnership. We've learned a lot. We've delivered messages and opportunities for investment in our side of the world with the health industry, and on their side of the world with the deep port of Kelly Beggs, similar to New Bedford or Fall River, even Plymouth Harbor, in the industry that goes along with that. So it's been productive for the county, and we look forward to completing our mission next year. And tonight, or in the next couple of days, we're feverishly working to make sure that it's done properly.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be an exciting couple of days, and you'll have a lot to talk about when you're done, and you'll have a destination to go to in Ireland to bring some of the goodwill of the Irish-American citizens. It looks like it'll be a great event.
Well, considering that Plymouth County and the town of Scituate in particular has the highest density of Irish immigrants in the world, Scituate is also known as the Irish Riviera, and we're proud to wear that moniker. So our relationship with Ireland is both professional and personal in a lot of people's lives, and this is just a way of sharing best practices and making sure that we as a country don't forget where we come from.
Well, we're starting to wonder if it's a good thing to tell anybody where you come from.
Well, I have moved around the county, as you know, originally landing in Pembroke, where you and I served as friends and partners on the Pembroke Selectmen. Then I moved to Plymouth, became a county commissioner, and I'm now residing in Abington. So I've moved around the county, and getting to know 1,000 square miles every year. It's now the 12th year that I've been elected, and just got reelected for another 4 years. So hopefully by the time it's all over, I'm able to leave the county in a better place than I found it.
Well, you certainly left Pembroke in a better spot than you found it. You did a great job with the fields, the ball fields, the lights for the football field. There were so many things you were involved in. Help me along here. And,
well, a great place to raise a family, absolutely. Pembroke, my service over there was a direct extension of being a father. And we got together as a community. We did some great projects. We built a playground over on the Duxbury line. We built the ball fields. We carved 5 ball fields out of the town forest at no cost to the town. We improved all the playgrounds when we were on the Recreation Commission. We as a Board of Selectmen had vision and foresight to make certain improvements over the course of years to just make the infrastructure of the town that more dependable. The most recent thing that started when we were together, Arthur, was the new community center, which I was there for the dedication. I think we started that project somewhere around 2013, and finally in 2024 it was constructed and dedicated. And what a beautiful, beautiful building. And again, Pembroke just keeps improving its lot when it comes to having quality programs for everyone, from our kids to our seniors and just the people in general. If you work in the city, it's a respite from all the hustle and bustle to get over to Pembroke and relax with your family and enjoy the company of your neighbors. And it's got a long history of that.
Appreciate it, and we'll keep you on the top of our list here of people to call when we want the answers to the municipal questions.
Anytime, Arthur. It's always a pleasure to work with you and WATD, who has a vital role in our community in getting information out there and engaging people to have public discourse. So anytime you want to call, I'm no stranger to the microphone.
No, that's right. And a member of the Clean Plate Club.
Well, thanks again, Arthur, for having me. I'm off to do my daily walk and lose a few pounds before my daughter gets married in June. So working hard at that as well.
Oh, that's a big deal coming up. We just had Paul Solano just announced that he's going to become a grandfather in the next few months. So congratulations to you as well.
Well, thank you, Arthur, and I appreciate your time today.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
That's Greg Hanley, who's the member of the county commissioners, and he is an active community member. I would say he's always got his hands in some good project that goes on. All right. Well, let's see. Did we want to fire the manager of the Red Sox while we were here too?
No, I don't want to.
No.
You want to take another break, Arthur?
Why don't we take a break and come back and we'll close out the show with any loose ends.
South Street Diner, located at 178 Nealon Street, Boston, is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week for late-night eats. Yep, that's 24/7 in my book. Owner Saul Seidel has grown this former iconic Blue Diner to be the place to go for keeping the party going or filling your stomachs before you head home to the South Shore or the Cape and the Islands and listen to WATD along the way home. Ask Saul about his grandmother's banana bread recipe, the Boston cream pancakes, umpteen eggs Benny offerings, and tell him that Paul Ponders sent you. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Bennekeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it, know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools, 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
And once again, it's Arthur Boyle filling in for Paul Solano, who is on a personal day becoming a grandfather in the near future and taking up the time to meet with his new family. And we're very excited for him. He's a good guy, and he's a good dad, and he'll be a good grandfather. So we wish him nothing but the best. Tim, you disagreed with me on the manager of the Red Sox.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we keep changing the pieces of the puzzle. How are we ever going to get the puzzle right? The rest of the pieces, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I just wonder if...
Because UMass has kind of gone through this with their football team in past years, you know. Every year they keep changing the coach out instead of keep the coach, work with your pieces, and improve the recipe.
Well, that makes sense to a great degree, but there's an adage about it's easier to fire one manager than it is to fire 25 players.
True.
So, and the Celtics are in the same. They were simply outcoached this time. They can blame it on Tatum, going down, but they won that game. So he's blameless, and it's going to be an interesting couple of months over the winter to see, whose head will roll, because it's going to be somebody, and I don't think again that it'll be 25 guys. I think it'll be the one guy, and the one guy is the guy at the top.
Yeah, we'll see.
We missed a treat today too. I had brought in a record album. It gives you an idea of how old it is. That it's in fact a record album, and it's got on it a song that you would love because it's Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they did the song Peanuts.
I know that song. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to the next time I'm in, we'll have to get it and share it with the listeners. You
never know. If I have time before Ron comes in, I may do a Four Seasons double shot. So stay tuned, folks. Ron Dwyer is on the way.
Well, we're going to say goodbye for now, and we'll wish you a good weekend here. And we look forward to Ron Dwyer, the king of the oldies.
Grand Poobah.
Grand Poobah.
Yes.
I actually stuck that moniker on his...
Bumper sticker on his car?
Sticker on his car.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening to Paul Ponders. Stay tuned to WATD for the memories with Ron Dwyer. As we said, the Grand Poobah of oldies rock and roll. Ron, you are a true leader of the pack with great musical memories of yesteryear, so thank you always for every weekend you give us. Listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders on WATD shows. You want to do the thank yous, Arthur?
Thank you to Tim McKinney, who, as always, keeps us right in the forefront. And we look forward to more traffic and weather reports as the day goes on. And we'll wish Paul a good time today.
All right. See you next week, folks.